Changes happen as we get older. That's just a fact of life, isn't it? Our bodies change, our routines change, and how we experience pleasure can change too. Sometimes, without even realizing it, we might continue doing things the way we always have, even if they aren't quite working the same way anymore. It's like trying to wear shoes that are a size too small. You might not notice the discomfort right away, but over time it can really cause problems. For many men over 60, this applies to a very personal aspect of life: masturbation. It's a topic often not discussed openly, but ignoring potential issues can quietly lead to discomfort, frustration, or even miss opportunities for better health and well-being. A doctor specializing in men's health highlighted that sticking to old habits without adapting to the body's changes after 60 can lead to specific avoidable problems. These aren't necessarily dangerous in a dramatic way, but they can silently chip away at comfort, satisfaction, and even overall health in subtle ways. Think of them as silent mistakes. In this video, we're going to look at some of these common pitfalls, not to make anyone feel bad, but to shine a light on them so you can make adjustments that feel better and are potentially healthier for you at this stage of life. We'll explore why things change, what some of these common, subtle mistakes might be, and most importantly, what you can do differently. These aren't things to be embarrassed about. They're just part of the journey of aging, and understanding them can make a real difference. Stick with me until the end, because there's something we'll cover that might genuinely surprise you about the connection between this topic and your overall health. Let's dive into the first area where older men might unknowingly make a mistake when it comes to masturbation after 60. It really comes down to not fully accounting for the physical changes that naturally occur with age. You see, as men get older, the body's response systems, including those involved in sexual arousal and function, tend to slow down a bit. Blood flow might not be as vigorous, nerve sensitivity can change, and tissue elasticity decreases. The mistake here is approaching masturbation with the same expectations and techniques that worked flawlessly in your 20s, 30s, or even 50s. For instance, arousal might take longer to build. What once took mere moments could now require more time and more direct, sustained stimulation. If you're used to a quick process and try to rush it, you might experience frustration, incomplete arousal, or difficulty reaching orgasm. The mistake is expecting the same speed and intensity without adjusting the approach. The body is sending signals that it needs a different kind of attention, a more patient, perhaps gentler engagement, and ignoring these signals can lead to a less satisfying experience. It's like trying to start an old car engine on a cold morning. It needs a little more coaxing, a bit more time to warm up, compared to a brand new one. The old engine isn't broken, it just needs a different approach. So, the actionable step here is adaptation and patience. Understand that it's perfectly normal for things to take longer. Embrace a slower buildup. This might involve incorporating more varied types of touch, focusing on different areas, or simply allowing yourself more time without pressure. Lubrication becomes much more important as well. Natural lubrication decreases with age, and forcing friction on drier or less elastic tissue can cause irritation, discomfort, or even minor skin abrasions. This is a silent harm. It might not be overtly painful in the moment, but chronic irritation can lead to avoidance, making you feel like something is wrong when the simple fix is right there. Using a good quality body-safe lubricant can make a world of difference, reducing friction and enhancing pleasure. It's a simple change that directly addresses the physiological reality of older skin and tissues. The mistake is skipping this step out of habit or assuming it's not necessary. It very much is for comfortable and enjoyable self-pleasure after 60. Another related aspect of this first mistake is the tendency to use excessive force or intensity, perhaps trying to compensate for reduced sensitivity or slower arousal. While it might seem intuitive to apply more pressure or speed, this can actually be counterproductive. As mentioned, tissues are less elastic and potentially more fragile. Rough handling can lead to localized pain, bruising, or damage over time. The nerves might be less sensitive to light touch, prompting harder stimulation, but there's a point where harder isn't better, it just causes wear and tear. This is another way discomfort can silently build, making the activity less appealing or even slightly painful, something a man might not consciously attribute to the technique itself, but rather to just getting older. The correct approach is to experiment with different pressures and speeds, focusing on what feels pleasurable and comfortable rather than what feels intense. Exploring different grips or using different parts of the hand or fingers can provide varied sensations that might be more effective and gentler than simply increasing force. Thinking about the physical changes also brings up the importance of setting realistic expectations. If you're expecting the same hard erection every single time, the same powerful orgasm, or the same refractory period you had decades ago, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Erectile function can fluctuate due to various factors like sleep, stress, overall health, and underlying conditions. Orgasms might become less intense, and the time it takes to recover between orgasms can lengthen significantly. The mistake is letting these natural changes lead to feelings of inadequacy or frustration. This isn't a failure, it's just how the body works at this stage. Accepting these changes allows you to focus on the pleasure that is available, which might be different, but still deeply satisfying. It shifts the focus from performance to sensation and enjoyment. The silent harm here isn't physical but psychological. The unnecessary stress and negative self-talk that can arise from comparing your current experience to a younger self. So, to summarize this first major point about not accounting for physical changes, the mistakes are rushing the process and not allowing enough time for arousal, neglecting the use of lubricant despite the change in natural lubrication, using excessive force or intensity that can harm tissues, and having unrealistic expectations based on younger years, leading to psychological distress. The corrective steps are: practice patience and allow more time, consistently use a good quality lubricant, explore gentler techniques and varied touch, and adjust your expectations to align with the normal physiological changes of aging, focusing on comfort and pleasure rather than performance. Making these adjustments can turn a potentially frustrating or uncomfortable experience into a comfortable, pleasurable, and healthy part of life after 60. This foundational understanding of how the body changes is crucial before we even touch on other areas where silent mistakes can occur. Now that we've discussed the primary need to adapt to your changing physical landscape, let's delve into another significant area that often goes overlooked, silently impacting this aspect of health and well-being. Moving beyond the immediate physical act, another critical area where older men might make silent mistakes relates to their overall physical health and how they view and integrate masturbation within that context. The mistake here is treating masturbation as an isolated activity, disconnected from the rest of your body's health needs. What many men don't realize is how profoundly their general health status impacts sexual function and pleasure, including the ability to comfortably and enjoyably masturbate. Conditions common in older age, such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and even mobility issues, can all directly affect nerve function, blood flow, and hormone levels, all of which are crucial for sexual response. For example, maintaining good cardiovascular health is absolutely vital. Masturbation, like any sexual activity, requires healthy blood flow, especially to the genital area. If your arteries are narrowed or hardened due to factors like poor diet, lack of exercise, or smoking, blood flow can be compromised. This doesn't just affect erections, it can reduce sensitivity and overall responsiveness. The silent mistake is continuing with unhealthy lifestyle habits while wondering why things aren't working as they used to, or why there might be discomfort that wasn't there before. You might blame it on age alone, missing the opportunity to improve your underlying health, which would, in turn, improve this aspect of your life. So, an actionable step here, and a crucial one, is to view optimizing your overall health as a way to enhance your sexual health and comfort. This means paying attention to your diet. Are you eating foods that support heart health like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins? Are you limiting processed foods, excessive sugar, and unhealthy fats? A diet rich in nutrients and antioxidants can improve circulation and reduce inflammation, both of which are beneficial. The mistake is thinking diet only affects weight or cholesterol when its impact on blood flow throughout the body, including to the pelvic region, is significant. Exercise is another powerful tool. Regular physical activity, even moderate walking, improves cardiovascular fitness and blood circulation dramatically. It helps maintain a healthy weight, reduces stress, and can even boost hormone levels like testosterone, which plays a role in libido and energy. The silent mistake is becoming sedentary, perhaps thinking you're too old for regular exercise, and not realizing the cascade of negative effects this has, including on sexual function and comfort during masturbation. Engaging in exercise tailored to your abilities, whether it's swimming, cycling, strength training, or simply daily walks, is a proactive step towards maintaining vitality in all areas of life, including this very private one. Managing stress is also critical. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, which can negatively impact hormone balance and blood flow. Stress can also create tension in the body. The mistake is letting stress build up unchecked, perhaps not recognizing how it's contributing to physical discomfort or reduced pleasure during self-intimacy. Finding healthy ways to manage stress, like mindfulness, meditation, hobbies, or spending time in nature, can have positive ripple effects throughout your body, including improving your ability to relax and experience pleasure. Another silent mistake relates to hydration. Dehydration can affect blood volume and overall physical function, potentially impacting everything from energy levels to tissue health. While it might seem minor, being adequately hydrated supports healthy circulation. The mistake is not drinking enough water throughout the day, particularly as the sensation of thirst can diminish slightly with age. Simple hydration is a foundational element of overall well-being that contributes to the body's ability to function optimally, including in intimate ways. Furthermore, paying attention to sleep is crucial. Quality sleep is essential for hormone regulation, tissue repair, and overall mental and physical restoration. Chronic sleep deprivation can disrupt hormone balance, increase stress, and impair cognitive function, all of which can negatively impact sexual health and desire. The mistake is dismissing sleep issues as just part of getting older without addressing them, not realizing the wide-ranging impact, including on this aspect of life. Prioritizing good sleep hygiene and addressing sleep problems can make a significant difference. So, this second major point is about recognizing that how you treat your entire body affects your ability to comfortably and pleasurably engage in masturbation. The silent mistakes are neglecting cardiovascular health through poor diet and lack of exercise, letting stress go unchecked, not staying properly hydrated, and failing to prioritize adequate sleep. The actionable steps are to consciously adopt heart-healthy eating patterns, engage in regular physical activity that suits your capabilities, actively manage stress, ensure sufficient hydration, and prioritize getting quality sleep. By addressing these fundamental aspects of your overall health, you create a foundation that supports better blood flow, hormonal balance, tissue health, and mental well-being, all of which contribute positively to comfortable and satisfying self-intimacy after 60. It's not just about the technique, it's about the vehicle, your body, being in the best possible shape it can be. This connection between general health and specific function is often the most overlooked silent harm, because men don't always connect the dots. Understanding this empowers you to make choices that improve multiple aspects of your life simultaneously. Now that we've explored the importance of adapting to physical changes and linking self-pleasure to overall health, let's uncover another less obvious but equally significant mistake older men might make. Continuing our discussion about less obvious pitfalls, a third silent mistake often encountered by older men involves the psychological and emotional aspects surrounding masturbation. It's not just about the physical act, it's about your mindset, feelings, and how you frame this activity in the context of aging and identity. The mistake here is carrying old baggage, shame, or societal hang-ups about masturbation, especially as it relates to getting older. Many men might feel that masturbation is something only younger people do, or that it's somehow less valid, or even a little sad to engage in it at this stage of life, particularly if they are single or their partner is unable or uninterested in sexual activity. This internalized judgment can create significant emotional distress and diminish the potential benefits of self-pleasure. Think about it. If you feel a sense of shame or guilt every time you engage in this activity, or if you frame it as a sign of something lacking in your life rather than a positive choice for self-care and pleasure, you're robbing yourself of joy and adding unnecessary emotional burden. This feeling of wrongness or embarrassment is a silent harm. It doesn't cause physical injury, but it negatively impacts mental well-being, self-esteem, and the ability to fully relax and enjoy the experience. It can turn a potentially positive activity into a source of anxiety or negative feelings, leading to avoidance or, conversely, engaging in it while feeling conflicted. The truth is, masturbation is a natural human behavior and remains a valid and healthy way to experience pleasure, release tension, and connect with your body at any age. For men over 60, it can be particularly beneficial. It helps maintain sexual function, improves blood flow to the pelvic area, can aid in prostate health by helping to clear ducts, reduces stress, and simply feels good. It's a form of self-care, like taking a warm bath or reading a good book. It's about physical comfort and emotional release. The mistake is allowing outdated or negative beliefs to prevent you from enjoying these benefits or causing distress when you do. The actionable step here is to actively challenge and reframe these negative thoughts. Recognize that there is nothing inherently wrong or shameful about masturbating after 60. It is a normal, healthy part of human sexuality throughout the lifespan. View it as a positive act of self-care and self-love. If you find yourself thinking negative thoughts, consciously replace them with positive affirmations, such as, "This is a healthy way for me to relax and feel pleasure," or, "It's okay to prioritize my own physical and emotional well-being." Talking about it openly with a trusted friend, partner, or therapist if you feel comfortable can also help normalize it and alleviate feelings of isolation or shame. Though of course this is a deeply personal choice. Another psychological mistake is falling into a routine that feels mechanical or uninspired, simply going through the motions. As mentioned earlier, things can change physically, and if you're not adapting your technique, the experience might become less pleasurable. But beyond technique, if your mindset is one of just getting it done, rather than exploring sensation and pleasure, the emotional and physical rewards are diminished. The silent harm here is missing out on the full potential of the experience for stress relief, relaxation, and physical satisfaction. The actionable step to counter this is to approach masturbation with curiosity and mindfulness. Pay attention to the sensations in your body. What feels good? What doesn't? Experiment with different types of touch, different levels of pressure, and explore different areas of your body. It's not just about the genitals. The whole body can be an area of pleasure. Focus on the journey of arousal, not just the destination of orgasm. If orgasm happens, great. If not, the process of exploration and relaxation can still be incredibly beneficial and pleasurable. Introducing variety, perhaps using different lubricants, toys if you're comfortable, or even changing the setting, can reignite interest and make the experience feel fresh and exciting again. The mistake is letting it become a chore. The solution is to make it an act of pleasurable exploration and self-discovery. Finally, a significant silent mistake is isolating yourself with any difficulties or concerns you might have. If you experience pain, persistent discomfort, significant changes in function that worry you, or if you're feeling depressed or anxious about your sexual health, keeping it to yourself is detrimental. The mistake is suffering in silence. These symptoms could be indicators of underlying health issues that need medical attention, or they could be signs that simple adjustments or support are needed. The actionable step here is to communicate, especially with a healthcare provider. Many men are hesitant to discuss sexual health with their doctor, but doctors are accustomed to these conversations and can provide valuable insights, rule out medical conditions, and offer solutions for issues like erectile dysfunction, hormonal changes, or discomfort. They can also address psychological concerns or refer you to appropriate support. Talking to a therapist who specializes in sexual health can also be incredibly helpful for navigating the emotional landscape of aging and intimacy. The silent harm of not seeking help is allowing potentially treatable issues to persist, causing ongoing physical or emotional distress, and potentially missing early signs of more serious conditions. Open communication is key to getting the support you need. So, to recap this section on psychological and emotional mistakes, the silent harms come from internalizing shame or negative beliefs about masturbation in older age, letting it become a mechanical routine, and suffering in silence with concerns. The corrective actions are to reframe masturbation as a healthy form of self-care and pleasure at any age. Approach it with mindfulness and curiosity to keep it enjoyable, and crucially, communicate with healthcare providers or therapists about any physical or emotional concerns. Addressing these psychological aspects is just as important as addressing the physical ones for a truly healthy and fulfilling experience. By integrating physical adjustments, focusing on overall health, and cultivating a positive mindset, Men over 60 can ensure that masturbation remains a comfortable, pleasurable, and beneficial part of their lives. We've covered the importance of adjusting your physical approach to account for natural age-related changes, the critical connection between your overall health, diet, exercise, sleep, stress, hydration, and sexual function, and the need to address psychological hang-ups and openly communicate concerns. These three areas represent significant ways older men might make silent mistakes that diminish comfort, pleasure, or overlook signs related to their well-being. Understanding and addressing these points provides a comprehensive framework for a healthier and more satisfying experience. Remember, none of this is about judgment. It's about information and empowerment. Aging brings changes, and adapting to those changes, rather than resisting them or ignoring them, is the key to maintaining quality of life, including in your private moments. Making small adjustments to technique, paying closer attention to your body's signals, and ensuring you're supporting your sexual health through general healthy living can make a world of difference. It's about being kind to yourself and your body as it is now, not wishing it were as it was decades ago. The potential harms we discussed are silent, precisely because they aren't usually acute emergencies, but rather subtle, ongoing issues like persistent mild discomfort, reduced satisfaction that leads to avoidance, or missing early indicators of health problems because you haven't discussed them with a doctor. For instance, that persistent slight discomfort during masturbation might not seem like a big deal on its own, but it could lead you to stop engaging in the activity altogether, causing you to miss out on its stress-relieving and mood-boosting benefits. Or ignoring changes in erectile quality because you just attribute it to age and don't feel the need to talk to anyone about it might mean you're missing an early warning sign of cardiovascular issues or diabetes, conditions where early detection and management are crucial for overall health outcomes. This is where the silently harming aspect truly comes into play, not just in immediate discomfort, but in the missed opportunities for health checks and overall well-being enhancement. So, the encouraging message here is that it's never too late to make positive changes. Start small. If you haven't been using lubricant, get a good quality one and try it. If exercise hasn't been a priority, start with short, regular walks. If you have worries, even minor ones, about changes you're experiencing, make an appointment with your doctor. These steps aren't just about improving masturbation, they're about improving your health and happiness across the board. Think of making these adjustments as an investment in your present and future self. Embracing this stage of life with all its natural changes allows for a different kind of intimacy and pleasure, one that is perhaps slower, maybe requires more conscious effort, but can still be deeply rewarding. It's about shifting the focus from youthful performance metrics to embracing the rich tapestry of sensation, self-connection, and well-being that self-pleasure can offer at any age. It's a personal journey, and being informed is the first step towards making that journey as comfortable and fulfilling as possible. I hope this discussion has been helpful and shed some light on a topic that, for many, remains in the shadows. It takes courage to even think about these things, so giving this your attention is a positive step. Remember, your health and well-being, including your sexual health, are important at every stage of life. Don't hesitate to seek information, make adjustments, and talk to healthcare professionals if you have concerns. If you found any of this information useful or thought-provoking, please let me know in the comments below. Sharing your thoughts or experiences, if you feel comfortable, can also help others who might be going through similar things. And if you'd like to see more content like this, exploring often unspoken aspects of health and aging, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. We aim to provide practical, helpful information to help you live your best life at every age. Thank you for watching.